Peace. Statistically speaking, women are more likely to be child abusers than men. There. I said it. Would you fellas like me to include a pregnant pause right here for it to sink in? Is you to wallow and bask in that? Is that what you want? Statistically speaking, women are more likely to be child abusers than men. There you go. I said it twice. Despite the fact that women are more likely to have custody of children than men. So it's kind of like saying beans are more likely to burn in the kitchen than the bathroom. But I digress. Women are more likely to be child abusers than men. Or so you say. This is nothing more than the what about black on black crime tactic that white people use when we talk about police brutality. A tactic to avoid what? Accountability. It's a deflection. One more time. Women are more likely to be child abusers than men. But what do you mean by child abuse? You see, the most prevalent form of child abuse is neglect. Most often, child neglect comes in the form of mothers' inability to provide adequate resources for their child. And those resources can be food, shelter, medical needs, education, or if they're working a double or 2 jobs, 3 jobs, they may not be able to be there emotionally for their children at all times. They may not be able to provide adequate child care in their absence while they're at work for their child, all of which falls under the umbrella of child neglect. And most of these mothers who are charged with child neglect do not have adequate resources to provide for their children in absence of an active co-parent. So imagine men rendering over custody of their children to the children's mother, and without adequate assistance from said men. The mother falls in dire straits, is incapable of providing adequate resources, and is therefore charged with child neglect, which is a form of child abuse. At which point men then use those child abuse stats to double back and offset men's abuse against women. Oh, but when it comes to child abuse of a severely violent and even homicidal and sexual nature, take a wild guess who is overwhelmingly the perpetrator of those forms of child abuse. I'll give you a hint. It's the same demographic that is most often the abuser of women. That's right. Of the severely violent, abusive, sexual, and homicidal abuse perpetrated against children, the prime perpetrator of those acts are men. So yes, women are more likely child abusers based on what they can't do for their children. Men are more likely child abusers for what we do to our children. Now, I would never harm a child. I would literally give my life to protect a child. But much like we say it takes a village to raise a child, it also takes a village to protect the child's parent. We are the village. But I digress. Congratulations. Your gotcha worked, just not in the way that you intended. Gotcha. To the accountable brothers in the comments, if nobody else will tell you, let me be the first to say, I see you and I appreciate you. We're gonna work it out. Bam. We out here.